We weren't even on the radar when we got there. We were just a participant.
We all could have got paid $500,000. We wouldn't have felt any different. It meant that much. It was unreal.
We were diggers and worked hard at it and paid off.
It was August 10th, 1975, bottom of the 7th in the championship game, and a softball version of a miracle on ice was about to unfold. Representing Newfoundland, the Placentia Intertown All-Stars, a gritty group of unknowns from Outport, Newfoundland. They held a slim 1-0 lead in the final over a heavily favored Alberta team. Frank Kelly's clutch home run in the top of the 7th was the game's only offense. Eugene Emberley, as usual, was nearly unhittable on the mound. But with one out, an Alberta player legged out a triple, bringing the tying run to within 60 feet of home plate. Then the play that decided it all. An Alberta player blooped a pop-up over second base. A dangerous play. Mike Pittman stormed in from center field and gobbled up an acrobatic shoestring catch for the second out.
That catch he made in center field, I wouldn't say there's a fellow in the major to make it.
The Alberta player on third base tagged up and headed for home. Now, I'm no substitute for Mike Pittman, who sadly passed away in January, but he came up throwing and unloaded a bullet to home plate. And here's what happened next.
Set her up like this, set in my spikes. Ball was coming in, by the time I catch the ball, hand goes over the ball. Now I'm kneeling down. He's coming sliding in. I had the glove here. He had nowhere to go. So we had him by a half step. And, he was dead. He didn't have a chance.
That was the third out and the championship clinching play for the underdogs from Newfoundland.
Bill looked at me and he said, "Jesus, Hickey, we won." like it was almost like a shock, you know.
Eugene Emberley, who was later named tournament MVP, had scrambled from the mound to back up his catcher. At 17, Davis was the youngest player on the Newfoundland team and could hear Emberley over his shoulder.
He said, "Dick, you got him." And with that, Eugene had me up. I was much smaller than this then, up over his head. And after that, I can't remember a lot. But it was a fabulous play, and it was a fabulous tournament.
Now, this was a ragtag bunch. Ill-fitting uniforms. Many had never traveled far from home, let alone fly on an airplane. They faced hurdles at every step. After winning the provincial playdowns, they had to scramble to raise funds for the trip to Saskatchewan. Then Air Canada went on strike the day before the team's departure date. But coach and heavily connected Dunnville resident Bill Hogan worked some magic with the then federal minister of transport.
He was able to get a commitment from John Marchand that if a plane went out of Newfoundland, we'd be on it.
A half-century later, here are some members of that team, gathered last week at their old field.
I say I threw hundreds of thousands of balls over there.
They reminisced about how they became the fan favorites at the Nationals.
Oh, they loved us. They loved us. We were the favourites up there in Saskatchewan.
And these two warmed up together for the first time in decades. This infielder was named an all-star third baseman at the '75 Nationals.
The closer I get to the batter, the more I liked it.
And this shortstop could vacuum up ground balls.
Not much got boys. But it was in the hole I got it, was down the third base side, then he got it.
How did they do it? With superstar pitching from Emberley and Kelly.
They were the two best pitchers in the tournament.
Stingy defense and a never-quit attitude enforced by their stern and demanding coach, Bill Hogan.
He was a winner too, but he wanted to win, and everybody listened to him.
The Newfoundland team traveled to Saskatoon on a mission to prove they could compete with the best. Well, mission accomplished. They came home with the gold medal and received a hero's welcome. A massive motorcade and a big party at the old P4 club in Placentia. The victory changed the lives of some of these players. Some went on to star on the national scene for years and are Hall of Famers. And they inspired future generations, champions like Steve Mullally. They're all in their late 60s and early 70s now. Their bodies have slowed, but their eyes cannot hide the passion for ball they once had. Bill Hogan, Eugene Emberley, Mike Pittman, Clarence Canning, Alf Hatfield. They've all passed away, But their legacies live on because all these guys made softball history.
But that play, weekly I think about it.
And in the most dramatic way possible. Terry Roberts, CBC News, Placentia.